pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning to all of you and happy Tuesday. Welcome into Mornings with Marcel and Friends, the live StreamYard and YouTube edition for Tuesday, August the 22nd, on the 8th month of 2023. I am so honored to have you here for you in the next 30 straight minutes. 30 straight minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So, I am so honored to be with you today. There's going to be live comments and chats will be available on the YouTube channel and, of course, on StreamYard. If you are waking up to see what's been going on around the world, I guarantee it will be this. The news you need to get you up to speed and on with your day. So, as I promised, I will toss it over to the latest from CNN as of right now. In ahead of Thursday's impeachment, or should I say indictment, for President Donald J. Trump, former president of this country. There is so much been going on, ladies and gentlemen. I promise. So, the record-breaking film Barbie has been unseated for the top of the box office here in the U.S., but many stores will be awash in pink for the rest of the year. Brands and retailers plan to stretch the Barbie excitement through the fall season, with the influx of themed products timed to release ahead of the holiday shopping blitz. So, here it is now for the next 30 minutes of this Mornings with Marcel and Friends broadcast. The news you need to know, up to speed, and on with your day. Number one, former President Donald Trump plans to himself in the Fulton County, Georgia jail on Friday Eve. That's Thursday, following his agreement yesterday to a $200,000 bond and other release conditions. According to Truth Social, his platform, I'm going to be in Atlanta. I'll be going to Atlanta Thursday to be arrested. Wrote in a post on his platform. According to an unseated indictment last week, he is accused of being the head of the criminal enterprise that was part of a broad conspiracy to overturn his election defeat back in 2020. He and 18 co-defendants have until noon East, 9 West on Friday to voluntarily surrender to Georgia authorities after being criminally charged. Meanwhile, the former president is accelerating his 2024 presidential campaign. Despite 4 indictments, he has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing and continues to slam the cases as politically motivated. Crews in parts of the western U.S. and Mexico are cleaning up in the aftermath of Hurricane Hilary, which transformed streets into rivers and forced widespread evacuations this week. After hitting SoCal on Sunday as a tropical storm, the state's first since 1997, as well as in Louisville, Kentucky too in the south, Hilary headed into Nevada as its first ever recorded tropical storm. As Hilary and its remains move up the western U.S., the storm broke several rainfall records. Notably, Hilary dumped a year's worth of rain on Palm Springs, California, and became the rainiest tropical system in Idaho, Oregon, and Montana history. Now meteorologists are drawing attention to Tropical Storm Harold heading towards South Texas, threatening floods and dangerous storm surge. The region is expecting around 3 to 5 inches of rain and up to 7 in some areas. Oh my, stay safe. Now, the FDA yesterday approved the first vaccine that protects newborns from respiratory syncytial virus, known as RSV. The vaccine made by Pfizer is given to mothers late in their pregnancies and provides protection to infants through their first 6 months of life. After decades of study and failed attempts at developing RSV vaccines to combat the common illness, there are now several offerings to protect against the virus, including a recently approved antibody shot that can stress but less. Let's get out of the way. Be given to all infants after birth and new vaccines for people 60 and older. The virus typically hits hardest during the winter months, and the last RSV season was longer and more severe than usual, overwhelming children's hospitals. Oh my. Ukraine is in talks with some of the world's biggest insurance companies to cover ships traveling to and from its ports in the Black Sea, a crucial step toward a resumption of vital grain exports around the globe. Work on a mechanism follows Russia's withdrawal from the Black Sea grain deal last month, which threatens the safe passage of ships carrying grains from Ukrainian ports. The collapse of the deal has already pushed up global food prices and could tip millions in port countries into hunger. To keep grain shipments moving, Ukraine's government will share potential losses with insurers, which should make cover for travel through risky Ukrainian waters more affordable for commercial shipping companies. And last but not least, Japan will start releasing treating radioactive wastewater from its Fukushima nuclear plant into the Pacific Ocean as early as Friday Eve. That's Thursday, despite fierce objections from some countries. The plan has been in the works for years, with authorities warning in 2019 that space was running out to store the material and they had no other options but to release it. Japanese officials said the wastewater has been continually treated to filter out all the removable harmful elements and stored in tanks. When the wastewater is released, officials said it will be heavily diluted with clean water, so it has very low concentrations of radioactive material. However, some scientists worry that the wastewater, even diluted, could harm marine life, and pollutants could accumulate in the already frail ecosystem. Now, this just in for you on this Tuesday morning. An urgent rescue efforts is underway in Pakistan for 6 children and 2 adults trapped in a chairlift dangling 900 feet over the mountainous region in the country's northwest. The country's disaster management authority has requested helicopter assistance to rescue the stranded passengers. Now to breakfast browse to wrapping things up. Millions in India cheered on teenage child prodigy Loch Ness Monster's fans prepared for biggest creature hunt in 5 decades, 50 years. Sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson wins world title. The original voice of Mario is stepping away from the role. And job seekers want to record high wages, and men expected $25 more than women do. Now for today's number. That's how many Republicans have qualified for the first presidential primary debate for 2024, scheduled for this tomorrow night. The party's clear frontrunner in national and early state polls, Donald Trump, has said he would skip the debate and called on his rival to drop out. Meanwhile, sources said he has already taped an interview with Tucker Carlson that is expected to be as a counter-programming on GOP debate night. That's 8. Now for President Biden's quote, reassuring Maui residents that the federal government will support their long-term recovery efforts while respecting local traditions. His remark yesterday came after he visited the debris left behind by the fires and toured the historic town of Lahaina in Maui, Hawaii, to view the damage firsthand. The federal government, he pledged, would help local officials rebuild the people of Maui want to rebuild. So for as long as it takes, we're going to be with you. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed today's 5 things for this Tuesday. Back next Tuesday for more on that, and we'd like to thank CNN as available. You could visit their website if you can. All right, right now, let's go straight to news into today's Bible verse. So be on the lookout and listen carefully for today's Bible verse of the day.
Verse of the day for August 22nd. It comes from Jeremiah 31:25. God says, I will refresh the weary and satisfy the faint. In the overwhelming, hair-raising, and depressing prophecies of Jeremiah, God repeatedly told his people he would destroy their things and their places because of their obstinate, ever-rebellious, and hardened hearts. Yet in the middle of these powerful and scorching warnings, God also slips in messages that soar with hope and restoration and grace beyond the destruction. Can you think of anything more assuring than God's promise to refresh the weary and satisfy the faint? For 70 years, that's all Israel had. God's promise in the midst of total destruction. But when the time came, God made good on his promises and prophecies. I believe he'll do the same with us today. Let's pray. Great Shepherd, I am tired and weary. Please refresh my spirit. Please renew the strength of my body. Please help me find satisfaction in the abundance you have already so graciously and lavishly shared with me. To you belongs all glory, honor, strength, and power. And I joyously submit myself in faith, waiting for the rest and satisfaction you have promised. In Jesus' name I pray and praise you.
Amen. Yes, indeed. Feel well, ladies and gentlemen, for this Tuesday's installment of the verse of the day. Remember, that's what Jeremiah 34:25 says. I will refresh the weary and satisfy the faint. And now, prepare yourselves for the date in history. That's right, the date in history. So what happened today? Tuesday, 22nd day of August on the 8th month of 2023. Well, if you have any questions about it, so don't worry about it. I just said it on the Morning News Headlines podcast that this date in history is for Tuesday. And I'll tell you why. Because of this, it's so much history. So wars of the Roses ended in England, where Tudor, the future Henry V, defeated the Yorkist King Richard III in the Battle of Bosworth Field on this date of 14,085, effectively ended the Wars of the Roses and establishing the Tudor dynasty on the English throne. That's in today's date in history for Tuesday, the 22nd day of August. Also on the list, Henry Cardo-Bresson, 95 years old, died in 2004. He's from 1908. Charles Poitier, Rhodes Alarmy from 1978. Let me see. James Corden, that's from 1978. British comic actor, writer, and television personnel. Jiang Xingping, 1904. 1920, Ray Bradley. Norma Schwarzkopf from 1934. And Bill Parcells from 1941 instead, too. In 2004, the scream painted by Edvard Munch was stolen from the museum in Oslo. It was recovered 2 years ago, or 2 years later. So a fact from Vision and Derquist. That's from the National Museum of Art, Architecture, and Design, gift of Olaf Scholler in 1910. Also, back in 1989 in a game against the A's, Texas Rangers pitcher Nolan Ryan struck out Ricky Henderson to become the first MLB pitcher to register 5,000 strikeouts. He ended his career with a record-setting 5,714. And that will be it, ladies and gentlemen, for Tuesday's installment of The Date in History. And now, I want to take this time to have you say, what could be possibly go wrong in the past 24 hours? Many of you who saw on the news, many of you who saw it on the chats, many of you who saw on all those doings, from everything in the start to finish crusade, but instead, I don't know what is being going on in your minds. There's no chats available there. So, I'm so with you here. Now, here is some of the very good question that we all understand for you. Did you know StreamYard has been upgraded or still free, where things are being definitely going public? So, here's how what StreamYard is. And I do understand this is going to be a very crucial. So, it has both free and paid versions of the product. Their free product or plan includes 20 hours of live streaming per month with StreamYard's logo. You could also share with your screen, invite guests, and show comments definitely on screen. So, it's a live streaming studio in your browser, which includes interview guests, share your screen, and many others. You could also directly on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and others, including Twitter, now becomes Twitter X. It makes it easy to broadcast live shows to audiences on multiple platforms, definitely in once, or even things are definitely go pro. Now, for the blog, I want to read it to you as this time before we go things straight forward to the word of the day for this Tuesday. So, does the make money for live stream on StreamYard? Well, for example, if you are a StreamYard customer, or I am right now, you should consider joining their affiliate program. If you're already a customer and use their product when talking to your customers, naturally, you should look into referring customers so that you can earn money when they use your referral link. And what does it do? There are no money, and that's absolutely free. Oh, how about this, StreamYard YouTube fans? Is this 20-hour per month streaming limit on StreamYard's free plan? Well, however, there are no streaming limits on paid plans. In mind, most destinations have their own streaming limits. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, and of course, Twitter now becomes Twitter X. That's all. Oh, do I mention it how the StreamYard is available for the free version of the app? Well, believe it or not, it's still in your browser. But if you don't have the StreamYard on the app services, which includes at Google Play, many others, I hope it's free. I hope it's absolutely free. If not, let's say this. It will have to pay cost of money. It will be only paying cost of money. So, let's see how this works. Safety starts with understanding how developers collect and share your data, where privacy and security practices may vary based on your use region and the age. It's going to be how to use StreamYard. How in the world use StreamYard? It's available for Chromebook or even the app service from Google Play, which includes the things are in the tablet or on the phone. And you always go live for any assistance. If you don't sign up by StreamYard, perhaps if you have always to sign in on Google as well, too. How amazing it is. So, feel free to sign up, or if you don't have any StreamYard or it includes YouTube and many others, I have to tell you, sign up now. It's absolutely free. I guarantee it. You will too. You will definitely too. All right. For those of you who are listening to the lovely and talented Andrea Kay last night about the latest on my polling report numbers, I'm back as always. So here it is without the 3 or 4 seconds or 3 or 4 minutes. Here's what I did from the show last night, and let me know what you really think about it. This is from The Answer San Diego, and I respect it. So here it is. Wait to the podcast to load. Ah, there it is. Let's listen in, folks. split on whether the candidates should pledge to support the eventual nominee or, no matter who it is, definitely wait. And according to CBS News poll, Trump voters, perhaps many confident that he will be nominated, nominee is... Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. That was made in my mind instead. Let's go right back to the top, shall we? Reverse. Stop. Play. Here it is. My polling report from last night's Andrea Kaye show.
The Answer. Andrea Kaye. Telling you like it is, all while eating a donut. The Andrea Kaye Show on The Answer San Diego.
Of this, am I to disagree? But the world and nothing sees. Everybody looking for something. What happened to her, DJ Carrot Sticks? They haven't done any music in so many years. Annie Lennox, she's so talented.
I really only know the one song.
Yeah.
To me, kind of a little bit of a one-hit wonder. I know they have she had more songs, but this was definitely the chart topper.
For sure. For sure. All right. Our friend Marcel is called in with a polling report. It's been a few weeks since he called in. We'll see what Marcel has to say. What say you, Marcel? What's happening in the Biden polls?
Oh, not just for the Biden polls, but I say the Trump polls. This is from CBS News poll. I have the number, if you have a sound like drum roll, please, if you can, my friend.
There you go.
51% pledge to support eventual nominee right now, while 49% wait to see if the nominee is definitely first. Because of that, GOP votes split on whether the candidate should pledge to support the eventual nominee or, no matter who it is, definitely wait. And according to CBS News poll, Trump voters, perhaps many confident that he will be nominated or more likely to support the candidates taking the pledge. So 54% of the people are saying Trump voters, 46% is definitely saying. But non-Trump voters is going to be 45, and this is going to be the one number. The same percent is definitely 55. What do you think about it, and your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I think it sounds as though people are like, I'm not sure how to interpret. The thing is about polls for me, Marcel, is that, CBS can have one finding, somebody else can have another. I think that, and right now, one of the things that's going on in the Republican Party is so much infighting to where I'm glad to hear that the majority are saying we got to coalesce behind whoever the nominee is. Because I was just seeing some people fighting on Twitter about whether or not we should be pledging that. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that will be interesting instead too. And those Trump haters or even the Trump lovers are still going on in the putting the hat in the ring. I hope that the debate on Fox News will air tomorrow.
Well, the thing is that I think that Trump did have the right to earn the bye. He doesn't need to be there. I actually think that whether or not you're a Trump supporter, even if you're a Trump supporter, I actually like the idea of people getting up there and sharing their views. If they're going to get up there and throw their hat in the ring, I want to see them make a case for themselves. I want to see them keep it focused on the issues. If they're just going to get up there and just bash Trump, then they're not going to do themselves any favor. What they need to be doing, because it sounds like from the poll, is that the people are saying we've got to coalesce behind who the nominee is. The majority are saying that, but there's still a lot of people that are saying, I'm not necessarily going to promise that I'm going to support whoever it is. And that means this. That means that everybody has to make the case for themselves. You can't just, rely on whatever, right? You can't. DeSantis can't just count on Trump being arrested. DeSantis has to make a case for himself. Trump's been making his case. He doesn't have to be there this week for the debates to make it. He is going to be making his case with Tucker. So if I'm understanding the poll right, I'm kind of liking where it's going.
And of course, along with CBS News and YouGov, so Republican debates are very important to hear about the plans. Who has the issue affecting us? 86% is lower inflation, 83% is reduced violent crime, and for stop illegal immigration, 81%. Thanks for the call, Andrea.
It's good
Thank
enough
you.
to
I'm
be
loving that,
football.
Marcel. Thank you, Marcel. Appreciate it. I'm loving
Good
what
night.
Marcel said. The three issues that people are talking about up into the 80s is inflation, immigration, and crime. And instead of these other people wanting to run against Trump in the primary, focusing on, blaming MAGA and calling MAGA listless vessels and attacking MAGA, they need to be attacking the Biden administration and the policies.
Yep, that is from the Andrea Kaye Show, ladies and gentlemen, and I know she is the sweetheart of evening radio. If you're in the San Diego area, you can catch her on The Answer, 96.1 in North County, 1170 in San Diego, Monday through Friday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific. That will be 9 p.m. here in the East Coast. And shouts to the amazing Andrea Kaye for that. So thanks for the call, Andrea. You really, really, really love this polls. It's gonna be really phenomenal. It's how amazing that feels. All right. Happy Tuesday, everyone. We're getting closer to 9:30 here in the East Coast, but we don't have much time for the latest on the business industry, but let's see what the futures did so far. Things are in the green column. Dow is up at 39, NASDAQ futures up 103, and the S&P 500 futures is up 18. And last but not least, today's word of the day as we wrap things up here, incorporation. And you know why? The outtitles by the Matsuris set an example which a sculptress and powerful layman were not slow to follow, with more or less pretense of respecting the forms of law. The act of appropriating to private use, exclusive possession, or exception, in English as legal law, the act of putting the revenues of the benefices or benefits into the hands of the layman or lay corporation, that which is appropriated as a classically property. So incorporation is IMPROPRIATION. How cool is that? Such a great show. It's been a very fantastic ride. That will be it for Tuesday's installment of Mornings with Marcel and Friends. If you're listening via my podcast, the Morning News Headlines is available 5 days a week on Spreaker Online, the app, or wherever you get your favorite podcasting platform to choose from. And I'll give you this in my motto. You give me 15 minutes and I'll give you the world to start off the day. It's available Monday through Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for time to spend here with me. I hope you're having a well-deserved Tuesday so far. If you're in South Texas covering today's storms, or still in the West covering Hurricane Hillary, please stay safe. It's 9:30 here in the East, 6:30 out West. I'm Marcel Myrick saying signing off, and I will see you back here next Tuesday morning.